Hello, I'm Desiree Dubonnet from the International Medical University of Natural Education. Today we're going to do a little certification course on electro-acupuncture. How you can learn to do electro-acupuncture on all the different points of the body. First, let's look into the basic ideas of acupuncture. Acupuncture and moxibustion, traditional Chinese medicine.
The techniques of acupuncture and moxibustion in traditional Chinese medicine are a traditional knowledge and practice formed in the soil of ancient Chinese culture for regulating the body's balance and maintaining health. They're based on the holistic concept of unity between man and nature. Under the guidance of the theories of the channels and acupuncture points, its practice involves the insertion of needles into specific points on the body, or the burning of moxa to warm the surface parts of the body in order to relieve pain, treat illness, or promote health. The holistic concept of unity between man and nature, which stems from ancient Chinese philosophy, views the living individual as a component part of the universe and explains life activities with the theory of yin and yang. For instance, in the natural world, yin represents the earth, the moon and night, whereas yang represents the sky or heaven, the sun and day. Inside the human body, upward movement represents yang, whereas stability and downward movement represents yin. Yin and yang govern nature as well as the body's interior. Therefore, if the yin-yang balance between the external environment and the body, or that within the body, is upset, disease results. The theories of acupuncture and moxibustion hold that the human body is a microcosm, each part of which is connected by channels. Through long-term practice, points on the channels have been discovered, gradually developing into a systematic theory, of which the 12 channels correspond to the 12 months and 365 acupuncture points to the 365 days of the year. This theory embodies the dynamic relationship between heaven, man and earth. For instance, if a patient has a toothache on the left side, it can be treated by inserting a needle in the hegu point on the right hand. The principle of selecting points on the lower body for diseases in the upper, or of selecting points on the right for diseases on the left, reflects clearly acupuncture and moxibustion's holistic view of the human body as an integral whole. The practice of acupuncture and moxibustion can be explained as follows. In acupuncture, the primary tool is the needle. Historically, needles were made of special stones or metals, such as bronze, iron, gold, and silver. Today, needles are mostly made of stainless steel. Needles are selected according to the individual conditions and used to puncture and stimulate specific points to dredge the channels. Methods such as lifting, thrusting, twirling, and rotating, or comprehensive needle techniques are used for both prevention and treatment of disease. 9 needles of different shapes and dozens of different needle techniques were recorded in the classic of acupuncture in the 2nd to 3rd century BC.
Acupuncture had medical hospitals, medical techs, medical schools, while people in Britain were hiding in caves and painting themselves blue. In America, the Indian lived in teepees. And after being transferred to all the countries of the world, acupuncture, even countries that hate each other, acupuncture remains the same. Modern medicine is updated every 5 years. Acupuncture's texts are still valid after 1,000. Acupuncture passes the test of time. Synthetic chemicals do not pass the test.
The primary material used for moxibustion is Artemisiae, commonly known as the moxa plant, which has a particular fragrance and grows in most parts of China. Since ancient times, the Chinese have believed that it has the ability to dispel pathogenic factors. Moxa combs and sticks are made of moxa wool, processed from moxa leaves, which have been dried up and ground into wool. Moxa cones and moxa wool burn with an even warmth for a long period of time. Moxibustion is usually divided into direct and indirect forms, in which either moxa cones are placed directly on points, or moxa sticks are held and kept at some distance from the body surface to warm the points so as to adjust the yin and yang of the body and restore balance and health. Acupuncture and moxibustion have been constantly reinvented in response to the environment and interactions with nature and history. Therefore, characteristic regional, group or individual schools have formed. Through endless exploration over the course of several millennia, acupuncturists throughout history have improved upon the ancient art of acupuncture and moxibustion. The three-step needle techniques improved upon by Chen Shenong are based on the relationships between heaven, earth and man. They summarize the three needle depths of superficial, middle and deep. The three free-flow needle techniques summarized by He Pu Ren are based on severity of illness and apply slight warming and strong promotion of free flow to treat disease. These needle techniques have had far-reaching influences on promoting the continuing existence of this tradition. In China, to be a recognized master of the acupuncture tradition requires apprenticeship under a renowned acupuncturist. Acupuncture and moxibustion are primarily transmitted through example, as well as verbal instruction through inherited lineages formed by master-pupil relations or members of a clan. These tradition bearers are identified by their reverence for the mythological figures of Huang Di and Fu Si. To become an excellent, reputable acupuncturist requires long-term accumulation of knowledge and practical experience. The bronze figure of acupuncture points, cast in 1026 in the Song dynasty, the systematic classic of acupuncture and moxibustion, compiled in 259, and the great compendium of acupuncture and moxibustion, written in 1601, as well as other works, are all a testimony to the inheritance and development of this tradition and have served as important reference materials in the study of acupuncture and moxibustion and have been playing a significant role in their continued development up to the present day. Among the Chinese people, there are sayings such as "one needle and a bundle of herbs keeps you healthy into old age," and "hanging moxa leaves on your front door keeps the doctor away all year round." These sayings are evidence that acupuncture and moxibustion have had a huge impact on people's lives and also reflect the widespread recognition of this ancient tradition. Acupuncture and moxibustion are a type of natural therapy which requires no medicine. This comprehensive body of knowledge and steady rate of development have played an important role in promoting healthcare.
Part 2. Synthetic drug medicine has taken a wrong turn. It's created a problem. Profit over people. The idea that you don't know what's going to happen when you take that new drug. Side effects are really not tested. They're observed and you just don't know. It's all designed as profit over people. And the media is controlled by the big money. And the FDA and the media are controlled by big tobacco and big pharma. So they really protect them. We have the idea of the blind men with the elephant and how they all saw different things. This is the same way with modern medicine. What is the true picture? Beyond the profit, beyond those ideas of greed. Let's look and listen now to one person's opinion.
Often it is reported that our healthcare system is in crisis, and that the care in healthcare is running thin. With increasing costs of drugs and a poor-funded and managed public healthcare system, everyone suffers. Primary care physicians graduate with mounds of debt and ever-increasing malpractice insurance rates. Forced into this financial position and subject to a health system that determines their rates, they are forced to limit the time for and effectiveness of their treatments. With this crisis showing no signs of abating, many are searching for healthcare that will complement and fill the gaps created by this catastrophe. Rather than looking to the future for expensive technologies and bureaucratic change, people in need are turning to the past for an effective and safe alternative for their health and wellness. Many of these people are discovering an ancient form of medicine that has been treating 1/3 of the world's population for over 4,000 years. This answer is traditional Chinese medicine. Over 1,000 years ago, the Chinese first diagnosed diabetes and were able to treat it effectively without modern medicine. Conditions like bipolar disorder, seizures, even heart disease. Traditional Chinese medicine is the perfect complement to modern Western medicine. The conditions that Western medicine has difficulties with, TCM treats very well, and when a patient needs emergency surgery, an X-ray, or medications in the interim, while the body regains balance, we should turn to Western medicine. A doctor of traditional Chinese medicine is the greatest complementary physician to work side by side with your medical doctor. This ancient medicine has a new modern relevance in today's healthcare climate. Today in China, the modern and the traditional forms of medicine work side by side and are used in a unique synchronicity that is being recognized as the world's best example of combining the old with the new. This new paradigm has brought about tremendous results and has been able to provide healthcare in a country that is bursting at the seams with population demands. As the ancient form of healing is being recognized by the World Health Organization as a very effective therapy for treating hundreds of conditions. Western doctors the world over are recognizing its benefits as well. Patients, too, are seeking out traditional Chinese medicine for answers to their complex conditions and for relief that has remained elusive with current treatments. With this ever-increasing curiosity, millions are just asking what traditional Chinese medicine is. With over a 4,000-year history, TCM is an empirical science with billions of case studies recorded throughout its history. The goal of any treatment in TCM is to return balance to the body. The most common image of this balance is that of the yin and yang symbol, which emphasizes the constant flow the body goes through and the need for the body to remain in homeostasis. Once this balance is achieved through treatment, the body is able to return itself back to wellness.
Part 3. Little comedy now. Why needles may be risky.
Listen to Paul. Listen to Paul.
我台裏明明流死，我都落針，100個都做後生都跳啊！我台裏。
你明叫我都唔會學難摸你背。
做咩可跳摸嘅歌？看呢？我係做聲聲聲入喎。咪計光會，你跳。
What a predicament. Luckily, it doesn't happen too often. Part 4. The electrosense validates acupuncture. If we look at some of the different developments done by Dr. Nelson Nee, we find that acupuncture points do exist. Scientists now agree on this 1,000-plus-year-old art that there really is an electro-acupuncture, and that each of these points has a different energy, and that there really is an amperage voltage resistance and electrical force. It is not all of what acupuncture is, but the electrical force follows it through these points. We have to recognize that there's something beyond just electricity, but the electricity seems to follow it.
The whole philosophy of acupuncture was actually a type of energy system. Thousands and thousands of years ago, they found that there was a traveling of energy through different points. We have found that these points, basically each and every one of them, have significant energy bands of type of frequencies and waveforms that are apropos to that point. When we take a patient, and if we apply the healthy, let's apply lung number 1, the energy of lung 1, which we know from measuring what is the healthy energy of lung 1, if we apply that to a patient who has a healthy lung 1 point, then that energy will resonate and return to the computer from where we have started it. If the patient has a sick lung 1, the patient will absorb that energy and less of it will return to the computer. Thereby, with an electro-acupuncture system in the QXCI, we can now check all of the known acupuncture points in minutes, in seconds, as the energy can come into the body and come back to the computer, and the computer can determine which of the points are successfully treated and which of the points are unsuccessfully treated. The field of electro-acupuncture then, for the first time, we're able to treat all of the points of the body. After we go through the first session, the computer will now remember which points it could not fix. We give it a second session to help find ways to treat those points, and if it is still unsuccessful, the computer will draw us a list of the points that need more specific therapy. Finally, we might end up after a couple of minutes with the points that might need needling, acupuncture, acupressure, etc. So we now are able to do with electro-acupuncture a total range of treatment. Not only is this easy to use, easy to learn, takes minimal different skills, but it helps us to apply the philosophy of acupuncture, which is an energetic medicine philosophy, a philosophy of quantum physics, a philosophy of electronics, and apply it in a scientific mode.
Oh, what a handsome guy told us a story. And once you've learned how to use the SKIO and you've done the demographics, the SOC, and the test, and the calibration, and all these things, you can now get to part 5, what points you want to work with the SKIO system. After you've done this, you'll be able to go to the pull-down menu and go down here to the number 2 point to take us to the therapy mode where we can go to the acupuncture point therapy called Meridian. We click on point here, label number 3, that starts the test. After that test is done, takes a couple minutes, then we do the retest all, which will go through all the different points, providing a complete acupuncture diagnosis. An acupuncture diagnosis, now we can go to the acupoint. This takes us to a program to see all of the different points that are unfinished. All the points that are unfinished, we can now go to this screen, load them up, and do the therapies or do them individually. As we do this, we're going to be able to now address all of the different acupuncture points of the body and be able to help to balance them. Oftentimes we find there might be somewhere from 3 to 20 points that are stubborn, need more help. When you're leaving the program, do this rectification. It will also help to completely rectify and stabilize the points that you've done. Now that you've treated all the points in the body and balanced most of them, you've done electroacupuncture. The stubborn points might need some external work. You have done now electroacupuncture treatment. Usually takes 10, 12, maximum 15 minutes. You treated all the different points. There really is a human battery. There really is the body electric. And alternative medicine is starting to get much more attention as acupuncture and other different ideas are coming in with the SKIO, being able to measure these different things and fix the body electric, because the body is all electric. As the Chinese artists have told us, how the SKIO can sharpen their skills and make them better athletes. Here's Novak Djokovic with the acupuncture warrior spot that I taught him how to use. So turn on the lights, turn on your mind with the SKIO, the science of the body electric. I help to make acupuncture real. I help to bring it to you through all these different systems. So I hope that now you've got this short little certification course. Do about 20 people, make a report, and you too can become a certified electro-acupuncture therapist.